and 7.5 rebounds this year.
He's a member of my old Marco Polo team. Bunch of guys that transfer, hey, there they are, and have been impact players with their teams. Wilkins coming off the bench has been solid. Miller can give the shooter. Wow, they lost to Ohio. What's happened to Virginia? Miller, Stone, and Jackson. That's my old Marco Polos. What's
pretty good starting five.
What has happened to Virginia?
You know, last year as well.
Brandon Hunter, big-time player down at Ohio U.
Down in the ACC, they're looking at probably getting only 4 teams into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, don't get 4 because NC State's going to get a bid. They're going to win 9 games, and they're going to get a bid. I mean, I cannot believe Virginia when we saw them earlier. In fact, they beat Kentucky. Hey, on fire. Troy Bell and Boston College won 7 out of 8, and Bell has been on fire, and they got a great freshman that doesn't get any notice at all, Craig Smith. I mean, he is so underrated. Michigan State gets a win. They're going to get in a tournament. 55 fouls called.
You're right about Craig Smith. If it wasn't for Carmelo Anthony, Craig Smith would hands down be the Big East Freshman of the Year. Meanwhile, a big development here. Dwayne Wade goes to the bench with his 3rd foul.
I tell you this, they got it down to 12. There's 2:06 on the clock. This is going to be a big 2 minutes right here for Marquette. Major 2 minutes. And they got to play him without their star, Mr. Wade.
So now you start to focus even more on Novak and his ability to shoot the ball.
And Dieter as well. Pressure Dieter and Novak. They got to try to get some screens to get them free.
Brown chasing after Novak. Novak is 6'10", so he can be a matchup nightmare.
Mr. Basketball in Wisconsin.
Trying to take it out of the hands of Diener. Here's Chapman, nowhere to go. Finds Jackson, no. And the rebound for Garcia.
Another good effort defensively. Good anticipation by Louisville, giving help to one another.
Whitehead finds the open man. Guess who? Garcia with the miss, follows it, and it's out of bounds to Marquette.
You know, Garcia is more than just a three-point shooter. He can attack the basket as well. He's long. He's got long arms. I got a call the other day, and ESPN called. They said, hey, he played at Taft High School, not at St. Raymond's. Well, he didn't play at Taft. He went there for a year.
Novak somehow found Jackson with that behind-the-back pass.
Down to 11. Can they get it to single digits? That'll be a victory for Tom Crean right now if he can get this to single digits.
With Dwayne Wade on the bench with 3 fouls. He was up around 18 a few minutes ago. Here's Gaines.
It's going to be a reverse of what Louisville's done all year, where they've come from behind, where they've been big margins down. Without Wade, can they get it to single digits?
Diener.
They're going to get some screens for their shooters.
There's another block. Stone got merit.
Got a good shot right there.
Brown in transition, lays it in.
Great conversion, get the ball out in transition, get the easy layup. I love transition basketball, so exciting. The fans love it. Gives the players a lot of energy. Players love that style, run, press, and shoot.
Marquette's not going to hold it.
Hello. Thou shalt not enter the lane. The first commandment of defense in the 3-second area. Don't enter the lane, says Mr. Stone. The former Kentucky Wildcat. There goes Dieter to the goal. Forget about it. Get it out of here, baby.
3rd block of the night for Marvin Stone. 13-point lead for Louisville. 5 team blocks for the Cardinals, and Marquette is going to inbound it and try to hold it for the final shot of the half.
You know, Louisville averages 4 blocks a game. The rank in the top 10 in the nation. Block shots.
From 12 wins 2 years ago, 19 last year, and already 19 this year, looking for number 20 as they force another turnover. And then give it right back.
Mike Kitts with the call on a turnover by Gaines. Think about some of the greats that have played here at Louisville. Gaines, when you think of his numbers, 1,798 points. Coming into this game, 18.6, 5.2 assists. Second in the conference in scoring, 4th in the conference in assists.
And a guy who's never won an NCAA tournament game. He's only played in 1, so you know that he's licking his chops for what may be to come here for Louisville.
Has such a tough time getting open looks. Nice pass.
Boy.
What a diagonal look by Dieter. What great vision. Got it down to 11.
Especially because he got knocked in the side of the head, and he's holding his right ear right now as he makes his way off the court. They're not getting off the court.
They're huddling up. They're huddling up.
Tom Crean has gathered his players out in midcourt before they go into the locker room.
Trust me, they're going to come out with a lot of fire here in the second half. They'll reflect the personality of their coach. This game is far from over. Far from over.
Travis Diener, one of Dick's all-time favorites, took that shot just before he made that diagonal pass. But the guy they cannot stop, Francisco Garcia, a game-high 17 points in the first half. Avis halftime report with Chris, Fran, and Andy. Guys?
This halftime report is presented by Avis. We try harder.
Yeah, I'm a...
Even the mascot brought his A game here tonight. Louisville with an 11-point lead over Marquette going to the second half. Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, you talked about it. A minute into the game, you could see Louisville was playing with their usual Cardinal intensity here tonight.
Well, the reason they got an 11-point lead is two factors. Number one, their defensive effort and the shooting of Francisco Garcia. That's been major. Their defensive effort's been supreme, forced a lot of turnovers. And you take a look right now, there's one of the turnovers, the conversion, the score in transition. But I expect a really strong effort as you see another steal and a layup by Gaines. This is only score and a half. He goes 1 for 4 in Judgment Week as you look at the numbers right here. 1 for 4 shooting threes, and the points off turnovers has been big. Almost a 2-1, 3-1 margin in turnovers. Only 5 turnovers for Louisville. 14 for Marquette.
Robert Jackson, the big man in the middle for Marquette, 2 points and no rebounds in the first half. This is him with the ball. They've got to establish him inside.
They got to establish a real strong start here to the second half to get some confidence.
Towns in the miss, Dean the rebound. Remember, Dwayne Wade, the Marquette superstar, has 3 fouls. Gaines, Miles, and Diener is called for the foul.
Well, a good job by Gaines, really picking up the tempo, attacking the basket, not getting conservative. They know now, Louisville, they're going to get the best hit that they're going to face right now from Marquette. They're going to get a strong, strong hit. Hey, 26 NBA scouts here.
Isn't that something?
Boy, they came to see me shoot before the game. I couldn't believe it. Chris Fowler, you've been proud of me. They came to see me shoot.
And maybe to sneak a peek at Wade and Gaines while
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Scotty Sterling, Bob Zuffalato, they're all in the house here tonight. Like Thebo, they're all here. George Felton, look at them all charting, evaluating, scouting, analyzing.
Miles at the line, described by some of the Louisville program as the heart and soul of this Louisville team. The leader, Gaines is a senior, Gaines is the point guard, but he's not a real vocal guy. Miles is the guy who's going to grab somebody else by the scruff of the neck and tell him what needs to be done.
Well, you know, he was a glass eater, 14 rebounds there, had a big rebound tonight against Kentucky as well. In the first half, they were out-rebounded by Marquette, but it was that three-point shooting was the difference. They go 1 for 4 Marquette, and Mr. Garcia knocks down 5 for 5 from the trifecta.
Merritt will score and a foul on Stone, and the play all set up by a good decision by Travis Diener.
And the first time that they can get it into single digits in a long, long time. Take a look at Diener right now. There's the little handoff, and they're going right down the lane, spotting the opening, slashing and scoring. Like Kitts with the call. He's getting under 10 right now, Dan. I think we're going to have a strong finish here. I really do. I think this team reflects the personality of the fighter that Tom Crean is.
Tom Crean, an assistant under Tom Izzo at Michigan State, as Merritt bounces it home, and now they are within 9. Marquette has not led at any point in this game, and they were down by as many as 19 in the first half.
You know, Garcia's being played by Wade right now with 3. I would attack him. I would attack Wade, trying to get number 4 on the All-American.
Instead, they go to Miles. Left-hand hook, no. Marquette ball.
Marquette's got to get some touches for Wade.
Merritt can't handle the pass, and another Marquette turnover. They're 15th. Garcia now with Townsend on him on this trip. And a push in the back on Merritt.
They're going to call that in the post. That's one of the points of emphasis down here at post play. You got to beat the guy to the spot. You got to beat him, deny him the basketball, or play behind and get help, but you can't make contact.
Number 2 on merit. 15 turnovers committed already here tonight. Gaines makes him pay.
Wide open. Mr. Gaines knocks it down. That hurts. That hurts big. Gets it up to 12.
Wade, baseline jumper, not there.
That's the one rap we constantly hear. Can he make that perimeter shot? Gaines, I tell you, had the open look. Unselfish, adjusting to be a point guard. So many great point guards in college basketball. He has the one edge on many of them, the great size. There he is with the stroke. You can see right over the top of the defense.
A 6'6" point guard who can score and can get everybody else involved.
See, I think Wade's got to do what he does best. Attack the basket off the dribble. He's got to spot openings and attack the goal.
He's not getting many touches at all.
Now there he is going to get a touch in the corner.
Oh, anticipated by Gaines, but he's out of bounds, and it'll go back over to Marquette.
A lot of media out here today. Look at Gaines right now defensively. See, he anticipates. Good anticipation. He read that perfectly. Anticipated the ball going to Wade.
The double on Wade.
Nice pass.
Jackson underneath.
See, he's smart enough to understand if two are playing B, somebody's open. You don't have to be a Harvard grad to figure that out.
Jackson with 4. Out of bounds, it will stay with the Cardinals.
We haven't been able to see a spurt by Marquette. Marquette has not had a spurt yet.
A 73-70 win for Louisville out of the Bradley Center 12 days ago. Marquette trying to answer here. Gaines to Dean. Rebound Miles.
I think he's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He can play for me, Miles. He goes after the basketball. You're not going to win in college hoops unless you rebound. You got to have rebounding as part of your formula. That's why they're so successful at Kentucky. The formula for Tubby Smith is very simple. Rebound, defend, shot selection equals W.
Crowd getting a little bit nervous here, I think, with the lead down to 10. Some of them starting to stand again and try to give these Cardinals a lift. Jackson more assertive. Stone with another block. Garcia on the break.
More assertive, but not the hello. He's going to be a star. He's going to be a Louisville star. He's not just a jump shooter.
Wade at the other end quiets the crowd, but Garcia has made the most noise tonight with 19 points. Gaines on 3.
Anything you can do, Mr. Wade, I can do better, says Mr. Gaines. Oh, the Stars are stepping it up now, Mr. Shulman. The Stars are stepping it up.
Reese Gaines has had a habit of coming up with some huge second-half performances this year. This may be the beginning of another one.
He's got 2 threes here in this half. He's 1 for 4 in the first half.
Wade knocks down a 3.
Yes, sir. Anything you can do, Mr. Gaines, I can do better.
Wade is only a 29% shooter from beyond the arc. Gaines.
Let's see another matchup. Now it's Mr. Wade's turn. That's your turn. Get everybody out there. Give the ball to Wade and Gaines, and everybody sit down.
A little one-on-one?
Yeah, let them play one-on-one.
Well, they may decide the number 1 seed in the conference. They may decide the player of the year here tonight.
Nice pass by Wade. Look at him dish the rock. What is going on? The Stars are making all the big plays. They're PTPs, baby. They're super scintillating, sensational. They're Rolls Royces. They're solid gold.
Gaines, no. And Wade the rebound.
Oh, I love this, man.
This is great.
Oh, this is fantastic.
The top 2 players in the league and 2 of the top players in the country going at it here tonight and showing their stuff here in the second half.
He is so unselfish, Wade. A lot of Stars would try to force shots. He doesn't force shots. He's very patient.
Almost 4 assists per game.
Plays within the team concept, which is so important to winning. He's all about winning. Anything you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can't sing. And there's Mr. Wade. He says, look at my range. And then we're going to watch Mr. Gaines says, oh, yes, Mr. Wade, what about me? Take a look at me, man. Going, I'm styling. Oh, yes, he's got game, baby. He's got game.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on ESPN and ESPN.
Well, Francisco Garcia, the freshman, was the big story in the first half. 17 of his 19 points in the first half, but the big story in the second half has been the two superstars, Dwayne Wade and Reese Gaines. Not much is better in sports than two superstars going head-to-head and playing at the best of their ability.
Well, really had that one segment there that was really absolutely sensational. Gaines has come out and has really asserted himself here in the second half. As you look at Wade with a smile on his face, Gaines has 8 of the 11 points here. As we look at the Star Watch, 14 for Wade, 12 for Gaines, but Gaines' club up on top, and that's the important stat tonight.
Do you see signs that Marquette has come out of the locker room with a different game plan and that they're able to continue this comeback here in the second half?
I see them a little bit more assertive offensively. I thought they were a little conservative in the first half, but also I see Louisville stepping it up, especially with Gaines asserting himself.
Novak in off the bench along with Sanders. There's Novak with a rebound, and he's fouled from behind by Kendall D'Artez.
D'Artez with the foul, no doubt. He's been a positive guy off the bench for them.
This Saturday, Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems continues with a doubleheader Saturday evening on ESPN, 7 Eastern, Iowa and Indiana. The Hoosiers squarely on the bubble right now. And then a big game right here in Conference USA, Cincinnati against Memphis. John Calipari with a full complement of players. The Tigers are a force to be reckoned with right now.
You know, I think their resume's too strong. They had 5 great wins early this year. They won that Maui Classic. I think they have enough to get in. And what's really in their favor, when you look at their last 3 games, they got Iowa at home, Minnesota at home, and a road game with Penn State. They're certainly, I think, going to win 2 out of those 3. And if they do, they're 500 in the conference, and their strong schedule they play, they're going to be in the tournament. Mike Davis is going to survive.
Too bad to see that Bracy Wright, I guess the back problem just not coming around. And Mike Davis has said that Bracy Wright will need surgery after the season, but Wright just not the same player right now that he was in November and December.
Kid is playing hurt. There's no doubt about it. The key for them is certainly their seniors have to step up. Coverdale and Hornsby got to be consistent. They've been inconsistent all year long. Hey, I'll tell you what's really a disgrace, though. Not at UCLA, where they may not get in. Forget about NCAA NIT. How humiliating. They may not get into the Pac-10 tournament, and it's in L.A. That's embarrassing.
Georgetown was potentially facing the same fate in the Big East. Looks like they will make their conference tournament. But boy, for up is down and down is up, there is no predicting what's going to happen. Nothing seems like an upset anymore. It's been that kind of a year in college basketball.
Well, you look at Tom Crean. What do you think of Alabama at 5-8 now in their conference? Getting to a danger point. They were #1 in America at one time. They're certainly struggling.
Novak, his 3rd foul. Gaines to Brown. And Wade with another rebound, and Marquette can inch even closer. Nice look ahead.
I told you they're going to be back. They're not going to get away. They're going to get a timeout, Louisville. They're reflecting the personality. Tom Crean will not let those kids quit. I tell you, I know somebody jumping with joy as you see them make that pass. One of our cohorts at ESPN Radio, Charlie Pierce, he went to Marquette. Take a look at the break. There's the kick out. And these are all the little things that Wade does. He gives it up, pounds it with the jam, and Charlie Pierce jumps with joy, a Marquette grab.
Basketball writer for the Louisville Courier-Journal, who today wrote a story about Trey Schwab, a special assistant in the Marquette basketball program, who is in desperate need of a lung transplant, and that's why he has that portable oxygen machine that he has with him all the time. He is now #2, and they do this regionally, #2 in the upper Midwest. And he's going to get a phone call sometime in the next days, weeks, who knows how long, to get to Madison for a lung transplant that he needs. It started out as a cough, then pneumonia. It didn't get better, and they told him he has this rare lung disease, and the only way, it's incurable, the only way to help him is to get him a transplant.
It was a great story by Rick Boson, very inspiring. Trey, a beautiful guy. We spoke today.
Terrific guy.
We wish him nothing but the best. He needs that lung transplant.
And he has raised a lot of awareness for organ donation as well. The lead was once 19. It's down to 6. Wade trying to cut it in half, and he does.
What confidence they're playing with right now. Trey Schwab happy with that. Look at the intensity. Look at the intensity of Travis Dieter as he's setting a tone. They changed their defense in the last possession to a zone. They're playing a zone.
Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems, and we're learning a lot about the Marquette Golden Eagles right now. Once down 19, they've got it back to 3 here on Louisville's home court. And they got the ball back on a steal by Novak.
We told you they wouldn't go away, people. And the reason this guy right here, he's a sensational talent, Mr. Wade.
Misses the 3. Garcia in transition.
Score the basket. I'll tell you, Garcia has been fantastic. Forget about just the 3. Tom Crean upset with that, but that was a good call. That was definitely a good call. He definitely goaltended on his play. There he is taking the ball to the goal. He plays with it after it comes off the glass. Definitely goaltended, no doubt about it.
Townsend called for the foul. Garcia to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. What a night the freshman has had.
He has been absolutely phenomenal. You know, against Cincinnati, he made those 8 threes to tie a school record. But he has done more here than make threes. He's attacked the basket. There's the full court press. We got what we expected. Louisville, Marquette, the 2 best. Yes, sir, going head to head.
They're going to put it in the hands of Wade, and he gets it over easily. Spinning right to the paint. Here's the shooter, Novak.
He walked. He lifted his pivot forward. See, I think Wade should have attacked the basket in that possession. What a great environment here. Freedom Hall, 19,000 people that have a passion.
What a great rivalry this has become, too.
People always ask me, where do you get your energy for a game? How could you not be energized when you go to environments like this? And it's Saturday down here with Brent Musburger in Lawrence, Kansas. Rock Chalk, Jayhawk.
Gaines guarded by Wade, and that pass will turn it over to Marquette.
He has forced 2 passes in the last 2 possessions, trying to jam the ball in to situations that aren't there.
Luke Whitehead is going to come into the game for the Cardinals. Kendall D'Artez will go out. Rick Pitino used 11 players in the first half of this game, and that's not out of the ordinary for him this year.
One of 4 coaches to take 3 different schools to the NCAA tournament. Unbelievable.
And he'll add number 4 this year.
You know, Louisville, Providence, Kentucky, Boston University, 4 different schools, just like Jimmy Herrick, Lefty Drizel, and Eddie Sutton.
Gaines on Diener. Eric Brown chasing Wade all over the floor. Here's Wade. Novak gets a look. He doesn't miss.
Can he shoot the rock, man? Can he shoot the rock? He and J.J. Redick, to me, are 2 of the best long-range shooters in the country.
How about this guy? Garcia with a rare miss from outside. Novak a good rebound.
Garcia was 5 for 5 from the trifecta. Hello! Hello!
That would have tied it.
He can make that 3 as well. Look at the anticipation. Give it to the dunk.
Sanders. Diener with the tip.
Is he a tough, courageous little guy? Look at the bench. Oh, we got one heck of a battle. This is one unbelievable matchup. Stars going head to head. 19-point lead. This is a reverse of the season of Louisville, where they have come from behind so often. Take a look at Novak. Great stroke. Look at the backspin, the rotation. Nothing but nylon, tickling the twine. Now look at Diener. There he is now with the little tip. There he is with the tip. And the bench loves it. They love it. Look at the bench jumping with joy.
Remember, in the first game 12 days ago, there were 16 ties and 20 lead changes in a game that Louisville eventually won by 3 points. There have been no ties and no lead changes in this game. Louisville has led throughout.
Look at Diener. Is he in the game? Is he a leader? That's leadership, man. Set the tone. Set the tone. Look at him. Does he want to win? What a fighter, man. You love to have kids like this on your club.
Just a sophomore, pretty good numbers, but a guy who means a whole lot more than just numbers to this Marquette program.
Hey, those coaches were very active in practice today. Darren Horn, Stevens. I mean, they were working. They were actually playing with the second unit.
Yeah, Jeff Strom as well.
Yes, sir. There's the zone now. They're going to zone out of this. They're going to find Garcia in the zone. Match up.
Wade on the bench for Marquette. They get it into the middle of Miles.
Miles did a great job getting into the gap of that zone. He sat right into the gap area, got into the seam. They dumped him the ball inside. Take a look at him down in deep. That's a great job getting into that gap. We're going to watch him right now. See right here. If we freeze this right here, here's a big gap area, and you want to attack that area, right in the gap area. Step right in, and there it is. Shapes up. Shape up and come and post to the ball.
Novak has picked up his 4th foul, and he's going to leave the game. Townsend will check in for him.
Missed by Miles. Free throw shooting, Dan, can be a difference in this game.
Louisville so far tonight just 10 for 17. You talked about it in the Cincinnati game.
15 to 35.
15 of 35. Terrible numbers. Marquette is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems. Marquette back within a deuce.
Back on the floor, tighten them up, lace them up. Come on, get yourself ready. First half, second half breakdown.
Steve Novak on the bench with 4 fouls for Marquette. Their best outside shooter going to be on the bench for a few minutes at least.
You know where Pitino really excels at tournament time? He's one of those coaches that with a lot of emotion and passion in a one-game shot, very tough to beat. He's 26-7 lifetime in the NCAA.
Jackson and Stone. Miles comes down and strips him clean. What a player he is. He does all the little things you need to do. A real blue-collar guy.
Yeah, when he went rotated over. Now, see right there, there's the rotation, and there's the strip. He comes right over, he gives help, takes the ball right away, and then gets fouled in a situation.
Number 3 on Robert Jackson. Stay tuned for more NCAA basketball tonight here on ESPN2. Coming up after our game, it's Hawaii against Tulsa. Big game in the WAC. It's all part of Judgment Week, presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN and ESPN2. You will see the leading scorer in the WAC, Hawaii's Carl English.
1986, they cut the nets down, man. They had Never Nervous, Purvis Ellison, Billy Thompson, Milt Wagner, Herbert Flood, Jeff Hall, Tony Kimbrough. And they beat the Dukies with R.J. Billis. Tommy Amica, Johnny Dawkins.
Merritt fouled by Taekwon Dean of Louisville, and that is number 4 on Dean. Now, in your opinion, Dick, is this game being called closer than a couple of weeks ago since that change, or is this just a more physical game?
I think it's being called closer. I think the referees are very aware. They're being evaluated, scrutinized also to advance to become part of the NCAA tournament. That's a dream of all the guys blowing the whistle.
And if the game is being called closer, does that tonight work to Marquette's advantage because of the style of play Louisville plays?
Well, you know, you talk about advantage. Look at the contact right there.
Marquette ball.
You know, the style that Louisville plays, certainly I think goes a little bit against them. As you look right here, most fouls per game. Look at number 3. Wow. Fewest in the NCAA right now at Wisconsin. Louisville right there up on top.
They've committed 15 tonight. Yeah, they want to mess around with Savannah State, huh?
Florida Atlantic as well. Georgetown is number 5.
Remember, Louisville has led the entire night until now. This is the first tie of the game on the spinning shot by Dwayne Wade.
The All-American response in a little isolation.
Oh, Jackson with a foul. And is that 4 on Big Robert Jackson? Yes, it is.
Yes, sir, 4. Now look at the isolation. A little clear out, concrete, do the little dance. There's the whirl, the spin, the one-on-one maneuver. I think they got to get a few more isolations for him. O'Bannon has no chance right here. This kid has got great talent. He's got the great legs, the lift, the bounce, touch.
Jackson out with his 4th. Sanders replaces him. So Robert Jackson and Steve Novak have 4 fouls for Marquette. Taekwon Dean 4 fouls with Louisville, and there's still almost 11 minutes to go.
They've done a great job of taking away Jackson in the post.
And Louisville really hurting themselves with their poor free throw shooting. Wade dumps it down. Merritt, no. Tip, no. Rebound, Stone. No call there, and a clean block by Wade.
Wade comes over to give help.
Wild shot by Gaines, and it's out of bounds to Marquette.
They got to get a little bit more patient on offense. They're really hurrying their shots right now. Shot selection, not what they like.
Two teams vying for top spot of the #1 seed going into the Conference USA tournament. Marquette was once down 19. They're back into a tie, but they've got some major foul problems right now.
You know, you talk about in terms of #1 seed in the conference, but a lot of pride out here as well. A lot of pride these clubs are playing with. That's why they're in the top 10 in America.
Louisville comes into the game having lost 3 of its last 4. The only win in that stretch. The thrilling game up at Marquette, up in Milwaukee 12 days ago when they won 73-70. Marquette has won 12 of its last 13, and the only loss, obviously, the game against these Cardinals.
You know, I don't think Louisville could play any better than they did in the first 15 minutes of this game. They were brilliant in every facet, shooting the free, defending, anticipating.
And they're tied. And Marquette withstood it and didn't cave in, didn't quit. And they've got their first lead of the night.
Look at the job of Wade right there. He recognizes help on him. Again, shows the unselfish ability that he possesses and finds the open man. What an amazing comeback. Down 19, hostile territory on the road, and they're up 2.
Scott Merritt with a basket. He has 17 points to tie a season high.
He has really been impressive inside and has improved. Merritt and trying to get Stone one-on-one with Merritt.
Stone, no. Rebound, Merritt. His 6th of the night.
Uncle Mo has certainly swung the way of the Marquette. Yes, sir, Marquette basketball team.
If Marquette could win this game, they'd go to 12-2 in the conference. And Louisville would suffer its 4th loss in the conference, so it would be a huge leg up for the Golden Eagles.
I'll tell you, the Golden Eagles have responded. Look at it right here. Now I'm going to see this double up. See what? You're going to double freeze it. Look at the double up. They double him up. That means somebody got to be open. He's going to find the open man. There he is, Mr. Merritt. He's the beneficiary. See, I'm the beneficiary of you and your talent. You're sweating. You're enjoying it. You like this even a little better than the white ball.
6 assists tonight for Dwayne Wade. How about the superstar doing it all? Scoring when they need it, dishing when they need it, defending, and playing with 3 fouls this whole second half, too.
He's trying to wrap up, man, the player of the year honors.
Gaines finds Miles, and Miles is fouled. Travis Diener absolutely up in arms over some of these foul calls. He's working the refs hard.
You know what I love about both clubs here? You got a bunch of kids that are competing, playing hard, playing with good sportsmanship. You got coaches that are fiery, competitive guys with a lot of passion, and you can feel it. Where you and I are sitting right now, we can feel the passion, the energy, the spirit generated by both leaders, a rising star and a star.
Merritt with his 3rd foul. There's a rising star on the court in Francisco Garcia. He's got a game-high 22. But now the developing story in the second half, you're right.
Free throw line.
Miles is 2 for 6, and Louisville is barely 500 as a team from the stripe.
That was the killer the other day for North Carolina. 7 for 19, and NC State on the road goes 22 for 22. You got to make free throws. The bench stands up for Louisville. The bench trying to give them a lift. That's what you define as chemistry. Everybody going in the same direction. What a game we have here.
Double team again, and Wade finds the open man in Diener. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
How impressive has Diener been? The competitive spirit, the leader.
Wild shot off the side of the backboard.
First bad play he's made. Look at the steal. He didn't get the angle. He didn't get the angle, but did he turn the Jets on?
Diener rifles one inside for Wade, who's fouled. And hits the floor hard as he collides with his own teammate in Merritt.
I thought Gaines had an easy layup the way he put the burst of speed on. I mean, he came out of the shoot. I thought it was Carl Lewis the way he...
I know. I thought he might have gotten hit. Might have gotten pushed in the side, pushed in the body as he elevated.
Now stop questioning the referees. Stop questioning the referees. You don't do it to the umpires in baseball, do you? All right, there it is. Take a look right here. There's Wade. Getting contact.
I agree with you 100% that And you said it in the first half. His game, you translate his game to the next level, whenever that is. Don't you think he's going to be a superstar there,
yeah,
too?
I do. I think he's got all the makings. I think, as Rick Pitino said today to us, he said his shooting ability and range, that will improve. It happened with all the great ones, Magic and Michael Jordan. When they went to the NBA level, their range improved, and they became better shooters. He's got things you cannot teach. The explosiveness. He's a great team player. Coach is going to love to coach him. I only hope, I'm selfish, I want him to stay in college for another year.
Me too. But you're right. Tom Crean raves about him, not just his ability, but his coachability as well.
Man-to-man defense come out of the zone.
Nice screen by Stone, frees up Gaines. Open look for Team, not there. Miles with a rebound and score.
What a tremendous play by the Warrior. Man, is he a Warrior. Mr. Miles really working the glass. He's a glass eater. He's a Windex man. There's Gaines with the penetration and kick out. There's the jump shot by Dean. Here comes the offensive rebound. He says, get away, baby. That's my ball. That's my ball. And look at the bench. That's chemistry. That's love. And that's wanting to win for the jersey, Louisville. Boy, you got to credit C.M. Newton that he recognized the talents of Rick Pitino when he brought him to Kentucky. And then you got to also give him credit for recognizing a guy by the name of Tubby Smith and bringing him to Kentucky to replace Rick Pitino. After he served as an assistant for Rick, also Billy Donovan was on that staff. Herb Sendek, love Billy. Billy in so many ways reminds me in style of play, what they do at what they did at Kentucky, what they do here in Louisville.
Louisville leads. Timeout on the floor, and another fantastic finish on the way here at Freedom Hall. 9-4 in league play. What a job Louis Orr has done with the Pirates. As Chris mentioned, the big winning streak. And these are the three probably Big East bubble teams. But with each passing game, Seton Hall's looking better and better.
I think two of those three are going to get in the tournament. I think one will play himself out. Boston College has been on fire. And Louis Orr, what an amazing turnaround after a slow start. By the way, Louisville's got a big win at Seton Hall.
That's right.
Over Seton Hall.
Didn't look like that big a win when it happened back in December. But the top four teams in the Big East, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, Connecticut, and then probably two of those going in. Conference USA looking at four teams probably going in. These two and Memphis and Cincinnati, who will play each other on ESPN Saturday night.
Well, they got four for sure. The only way they get five if somebody shocks and wins the tournament other than the four. Just got off the phone with my guru, Howie Schwab, and he told me about that Seton Hall victory. I'm lost without Howie. I want you to know that.
Oh, I know that. Howie tells me that all the time.
He's right.
Louisville up by one. Marquette led briefly after trailing by as many as 19. Wade, how did he find the glass?
How did he find it? Because he's a superstar who has elevated his game on the road to another level here tonight. He is literally trying to carry this club on its back and trying to get a victory away from home.
Wade has 13 points in the second half, 22 in the game.
Gaines has got to step up.
Stone, great move, but he missed the layup.
You know, Stone's got a bad thumb. You can see the tape on it. He's got ligament damage in here, and it's really affected him. Speaking to the assistant, Mick Cronin, who does a heck of a job for Louisville. He told me he's playing with a lot of pain in that thumb area.
Aaron Bradley getting some minutes for Diener, but not many. Diener's getting ready to come back in. He's not a big guy, Diener, but he plays about 35 minutes a night.
You know, Bradley had great scoring ability in high school.
What a head and shoulder fake by Dwayne Wade.
And he creates the foul opportunity. For you young kids out there, use that pump fake. Use that head fake. You got to utilize it. Look at the shake and bake, and there's the head fake. Look at the pump fake. He leads in, draws the contact. Gaines says, who, me? Now watch him right now. They bring it out to him with a baseline drive. That's just great mobility, agility. He's agile. He is absolutely mobile, and he is not fragile.
Missed the first free throw, though, as Diener comes back in for Bradley. Wade with 22 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds, as you can see in this game, and that is not atypical for him. He is a stat stuffer.
He's working that gum, man. He's working that Canteen. He's chewing that sucker just like I love to chew it. I'll tell you, he's chewing that gum.
Rattles the second one home. Marquette by 2. 6.5 to go.
Louisville needs an answer right now. They can't get any good looks for Garcia. They've really found him and matched up. Townsend all over in that zone. See that? They played a little combination, matching up on Gaines with Wade.
Garcia trying to penetrate into traffic, and he turns it over.
Multiple defenses by Tom Crean.
Saturday, a full day of NCAA basketball, capped by a great doubleheader in the evening as Judgment Week presented by Cisco System continues. Big Ten matchup, Iowa and Indiana, and then Cincinnati and Memphis, a couple of teams who have something in common. They both recently knocked off Louisville. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
The game's playing head-to-head against Wade.
Oh, boy.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's showing why he's the best in the conference. He's my choice as Player of the Year in Conference USA.
He's got 25. Rick Pitino calls another timeout. Marquette has turned a 19-point deficit into a 4-point lead.
I don't want to say that we said it, man, but if you go listen to the tape, what do we say before halftime? This baby's not over. Tom Crean would not let them quit. And this guy has stepped up as a superstar, showing why he's an All-American. If you're picking the 5 best in America, he's a member of my 5.
I agree.
I'll tell you right now, I start out, I got 3 that locks. Point guard T.J. Ford, Hollis Price, second guard. Wade, certainly my small forward. Collison, certainly my guy. There's some of the guys, Player of the Year candidates. I would go pound for pound, inch for inch, the best. I voted the other day. I think you vote too early, but they asked me to vote the other day, and I went with T.J. Ford as my choice. But you put Collison in the middle with that group, you got a heck of a club.
What a game we are seeing here tonight in Louisville. Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems. Freedom Hall, Dan Shulman to Dick Vitale. The Louisville Cardinals, who beat Marquette by 3 12 days ago up in Milwaukee, looked like they were going to blow out the Golden Eagles tonight, led by 19. But what a resilience by the Golden Eagles. What a performance by Dwayne Wade. And on the road, Marquette trying to move a step closer to a conference regular season championship. They've got a 4-point lead here in the second half.
They're going to give Garcia a look.
Got to get a shot off. They do. Miles with a rebound.
Oh, is he a terror? Is he a terror on the glass? What a great rebounding effort out of Miles.
Tom Crean screaming at Eddie Hightower that that should have been a shot clock violation. Diener. Marquette still by 2, and they get it back into the hands of their star, Dwayne Wade.
And he's being checked by their star, Reese Gaines. It hasn't mattered. The upper hand has gone the way. He wants the rock, man. He wants it clear out. They're going to double him up to get the ball out of his hands. Smart play.
Oh, what a
pass on a baseline.
He found Sanders, but it's out of bounds still with Marquette. Let's go back to the other end, look and listen. Was it a violation? I think it's good. It's good, right?
I thought he got it off.
Yeah, I agree.
He got it off.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He got it off.
Still Marquette ball. At the end of our game, we're going to send you to the WAC for Hawaii and Tulsa. Coming up next here on ESPN2.
You know, you talk about Player of the Year honors nationally. You saw they could throw in the name of Josh Howard. And you talk about National Coach of the Year, you can throw in the name of Skip Blossom, the job he's doing. You talk about also All-American team, top 5. You got to think about David West. You got to think about Carmelo Anthony. I read an article, I respect him so much, Mike DeCourcy. He said, forget he's a freshman. Look what Anthony has done.
Diener with the shot clock, line him down.
I'll tell you, man, he can line up and play for me. He is absolutely tough. Ice. Nice pass by Gaines.
Joe Chapman is called for the foul. Let's look at a shot clock running down at this end of the floor now.
Travis Diener with that unbelievable range. There's the shot clock going down. He gets it off in time. Tickles the twine. What a range. I mean, he's got a hand in his face. Look at that, a hand in his face. I mean, what a competitor. Ring it up, he says. Ring it up. They're scoring the ball, man.
14 points for Travis Diener and the largest lead of the night for Marquette. Marquette shooting the ball better in the second half. And maybe as important as anything, they're not turning it over at all. They turned it over 14 times in the first half, only 3 in the second.
Louisville free throw shooting 13 for 24 right now. That's a disaster in a close game. They were 15 for 35 against Louisville. That is major. You work and work, and all your drills, you pour your heart out, and it comes down to standing on the line 15 feet away to win or lose.
Whitehead in for Stone for Louisville. If Marquette can win, and there's a lot of basketball still to be played, they go to 12-2 in the league with games at home against UAB and Cincinnati. They control their own fate.
Michael Anderson doing a great job at UAB. He served as an assistant for years under Nolan Richardson. Finally got a chance.
And we talked about it earlier today. Dave Lato at DePaul really making some nice strides as well. Here's Wade, triple team. And Louisville comes up with it.
Great defensive effort there by Louisville. Gaines attacking, kicking it out.
Garcia. Loose ball is Miles.
There's Miles again. He's high-stepping. He's dancing down. What a job he's doing on the glass. What a job he's doing on the glass. If they don't have Miles, they have no shot to win here in the second half. This warrior, man, he is working the glass. How important is rebounding? You can high-step, big fella. Do a little dance. You can high-step. Make yourself like Gregory Hines and do a little dance. Do a little dance.
In the first game between these two teams, Miles had 14 rebounds and a couple of huge free throws late. He's struggling from the line tonight, though, just 4 of 10, but he does have 12 points and 8 rebounds in the game.
Shot clock, really, right now, a factor. You got to basically get good shots. You got to manage the clock. Managing the rock with shot selection is so important. I thought he walked up.
Yeah, he might have slid a little bit, got away with it. Wade always in control, and there's a foul on Whitehead.
He was bumping him. Tried to get an isolation, a clear out for the All-American. So talented.
Number 2 on Whitehead. Wade to the line for 1-1 on the season. A 76% free throw shooter. We mentioned Marquette, an outstanding free throw shooting team on the season. Rick Pitino is seeing his team struggle from the line for the second consecutive game.
You know, mid-season, Pitino was my national coach of the year. They were winning so big, and mid-season, Kyle Korver was my player of the year. But, you know, postseason's a whole different ball game. The bottom line is right now, some players have really stepped up. As you look here, Pitino for coach of the year. He did that in Kentucky. They flashed Tubby Smith. Tell you, what a state. Such a frenzy for hoops here in this state.
Wade with 27 points, 18 of them in the second half. Marquette trying to get out of here with a huge road win.
I haven't been up there. I went to Toronto.
4-point game. Marquette trying to pull off a big win on the road and get the inside track toward the regular season championship and the #1 seed in Conference USA.
Let me tell you why this would be such an impressive win. Number one, they met an unbelievable challenge the way Louisville came out, had a 19-point lead, played brilliantly, hungry. They had a real winner's attitude coming into this game, Louisville, yet beating all of that on the road. Here they are up 4. An amazing performance.
And they get another steal.
This guy's been the catalyst man at the point.
First miss. Novak now 2 for 3 from 3-point range. Still 16 for his last 25 over 5 games.
There's the zone right now.
Garcia so hot early. What a drive.
It's a great baseline drive. Nobody rotated over out of the zone to close that lane up.
Garcia matches his season high with 24 points. Did that against Cincinnati.
Wow, just like the first matchup. Went to the last possession. Here we go. They got to find Mr. Wade. It's Gaines head-to-head on Wade. They're looking to get it to the All-American. Their eyes are always looking for number 3.
Merritt posting up on Miles and a foul.
He drew the contact. I tell you, Garcia made a phenomenal baseline drive. He attacked the baseline. Take a look right here. Nobody rotates over. See, now he gets feet. There's the rotation a little bit late. He has the great size with the unbelievable 6'7", long arms, touch.
You know what's impressive about him? His 3 highest scoring games have not come against cupcakes.
No,
Indiana, Cincinnati, and Marquette.
And you know what else is great about him? He's got 3 more years of
That's right.
That's what's really great about him.
Merritt having a huge night, cannot get the free throw. He's got 17 points and 7 rebounds in this game.
College basketball, unpredictability, just incredible. You watch the first 15 minutes, we thought we were heading to Cupcake City tonight, blowout city.
Well, that's what we thought in the Kentucky-Louisville game here. As you said, the other way around, though. In that game, looked like Kentucky was going to blow Louisville out of the first half of that game, and Louisville wound up winning by 18.
Well, Louisville's come back on a number of occasions. They were 18 down to Ohio State. They were down 12 to Tennessee. And they were down 11. They were down 16 to Indiana.
Garcia misses the 3.
What a rebound. Yeah. What a rebound by Miles. I mean, he doesn't get just rebounds in his area. He's a special rebounder that he goes laterally.
Merritt picks up the foul, his 4th. Miles now a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds.
He just loves to rebound. Like on a pro level years ago, Moses Malone, man. He went after every rebound like it was his last meal. And this is what this guy's doing here. He is going to the stripe where he's 4 for 10 on the line. Oh, he's 4 for 9. We don't want to cheat the kid. 4 for 10. We had 4 for 10. We got the wrong stat given us.
Got a couple of big ones here.
Oh, he's 4 for 10.
You were just predicting.
Hey, what a great year for basketball in the state of Wisconsin. Bruce Pearl doing a fantastic job at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Bo Ryan with Wisconsin. Chance to win the Big Ten title. And Marquette certainly. Wow, does that hurt?
Critical misses. 4 for 11 now, and Louisville is a team 14 for 28.
Now you go to the last 2 minutes, you know it becomes Wade time. Spread the court. They're spreading the court, taking that shot clock down. This little guy likes the ball in his hands. What a point guard and leader he has become.
This is a pretty composed backcourt of Wade and Diener. Hard to imagine they're both only sophomores.
This guy's a sophomore, maybe in class, but he's absolutely a man playing with boys at times. Uh-oh.
Novak a miss, tipped back out by Merritt, but it'll be a Louisville ball.
Louisville one-possession game. They've done a great job of neutralizing Reese Gaines. Really done a great job. He had that one big spurt.
It's also with an early lead over Hawaii. Don't forget, we'll send you there here on ESPN2 as soon as this game is done.
Trying to get a screen for Gaines. There's the kick out for the 3.
Miles again.
Oh! Big time rebound, but doesn't convert. What unbelievable effort inside. What tenacity. The tenacious battle here. Chris Fowler and guys, this is unbelievable special.
And Miles is down.
Wow, he has been a warrior tonight. He has given everything he possesses. His effort's been supreme. Energy, effort. Just a great, great effort by this kid.
Junior from Compton, California, as we mentioned earlier, considered by a lot of people in the Louisville program to be the heart and soul of that team. And you can see why with the effort he gives night in and night out.
His whole game is rebounding the basketball. That's his strength, and he does it well.
Well, you hate to see this kind of a situation. Hopefully, it is something minor, but it doesn't look particularly good for Ellis Miles right now.
There he is working on the glass. Had the good angle right there for the deuce. He was after it the second time.
He lifted that leg up. He was in pain, and when he fell to the floor, he was already favoring the leg. Hard to tell.
Don't like to make a judgment here because we're certainly not doctors. But what a great, great effort this kid has given tonight.
At Appliance World, our world revolves around you. Great selection of...
Next game, Hawaii and Tulsa. There is Carl English On the break here for Hawaii, gets the runner to go. Again, early going 4-point Hurricane lead. Guys, back to Freedom Hall.
Well, Chris, Ellis Miles just moments ago helped to his feet and still in considerable pain, still unable to walk, and they aren't even trying to move him right now. The officials have gone over to the monitor to see who should be shooting the ensuing free throws right now.
And they're allowed to use it in that situation. They're allowed to use the monitor right there. There goes Miles down to the deck.
Well, it looks like, is that Whitehead, 24? And now they're going to bring out a stretcher and sit Miles down on it to help him get off the floor.
Let's hope and pray this is not a serious injury. This kid has poured his heart out all year. He's been there, terror on the glass, the heart and soul, as they say, of this team, because of his effort, his energy.
They have done their best to immobilize that leg. He cannot move it at all right now as they very carefully place him onto the stretcher.
Cloud responded with a lot of love.
The timeout, by the way, just an official's timeout. Louisville not charged with a timeout as Ellis Miles, 12 points, 11 rebounds, but so much more than that if you've watched the game here tonight. And well, you really got a feel for him in a tremendous amount of pain and probably hurting just as badly just having to come out of a game like this, where, as you said, they wouldn't be close right now if not for Miles.
No, not without his effort on the glass. He was absolutely sensational. He really attacked the glass the way coaches want their people to go after the ball.
Nice sportsmanship by the kids at Marquette as well, as they all stand and applaud as Miles is helped off the floor.
That's what I've loved about the competition in the two games we have done. Both coaches done an amazing job with their people in terms of teaching them how to compete and how to play hard, but play within the rules, be competitive.
A total of 6 players in this game have 4 fouls. Miles is one of them. Dean the other for Louisville, and then 4 players for Marquette. Wade, Merritt, Novak, and Jackson.
How big are these right now? Ruby's had a lot of time to sit. A lot of time to sit. Gets it down to a deuce. We're going to have an exciting 1:15 right here, Mr. Shulman, reminiscent of the first matchup when it was a trifecta from 24 feet at the finish by Reese Gaines to win it and to end the 28-game home winning streak of Marquette.
That game had 16 ties and 20 lead changes. This one looked like it was going to be a blowout until Marquette roared back in the second half.
And there's the great spacing that they want to get. 15 feet apart, spread the court, use the shot clock.
Final minute of regulation. Marquette with the ball and a 2-point lead.
Well, you know, one thing, Louisville's certainly going to get the ball back, but they need a defensive stop. You don't want to foul right here.
Novak can't get free. Shot clock now a factor.
They got to get a stop right here.
Novak a desperation 3, and Louisville gets it back.
Louisville with a chance to take the lead or the tie. You know, Gaines wants the ball late. He's a clutch performer.
1 second difference. Never mind. Dean misses. Rebound for the smallest guy on the floor, Travis Diener.
With the biggest heart maybe on the floor of all the Marquette players. What a rebound by this little guy.
His 7th rebound of the night. What a game he's had.
7 rebounds with his size. And then you watch Gaines, guys 6'11", don't go after the ball, get 2 rebounds. Wow.
The last game 12 days ago up at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Marquette had won 28 straight at home. Diener tied it with a 3 with 11 seconds left, and then Reese Gaines said this game is over.
Here comes Mr. Gaines. There it is from 25 feet. You may be questioning that shot, but you don't question it when it goes in.
Wisconsin native from up in Madison.
I'll tell you, these two clubs go after it the right way, but here you come down to the stretch right now. Louisville's got to get a stop defensively. It's so important right now for coaches to remind players, as many times they don't really pay attention. No time, no score, and no assignment. know who your assignment is, what your job is on the floor.
Well,
I mean, this is what you work for, man. You work all week long to get down to this winning situation.
Well, right now, if they don't get a quick steal, they're going to have to foul. And the problem is the Marquette team is an outstanding free throw shooting team. They're not going to let Diener get the ball because he's the best of the bunch. And there's the foul on Wade. Wade is 76% shooter. Merritt 77. Novak just about perfect. Diener 81. I mean, who do you foul?
Well, I love the way he walks to the line. You can tell a lot about a guy with his body language. There's Mr. Wade's knife. Little isolation, a one-on-one with a spin in the lane. There he is on the defensive end, showing his shot blocking ability. There he is recognizing the double team and finding the open man. What can he do? It's that free throw.
It's going to be a one-possession game. Wade 7 for 10 from the line tonight. 27 points in the game.
Has been absolutely brilliant until he missed that free throw right there. This is a big one right here. Because now you're going to need a three if he makes this.
3-point game. Reese Gaines with the ball. Buckle up.
Garcia can shoot the three. They want to get Gaines the ball.
In and out for Gaines. Diener's not going to get the ball up until they foul him. That ball was halfway down and then jumped right back out.
What an effort by Diener. I'm telling you, you got to give the star of stars certainly to Wade, but right behind him, Diener. There's the shot right here by Gaines. You know he wants to take the last shot. He's a clutch player. That ball looked like it was going down, and who comes up with the loose ball? Nobody but Mr. Travis Diener. There's the look, the rotation. It looks like that baby's in. I mean, it looks like it is in.
Gaines tried to draw some contact, too, and a good job by Diener just to stand there with his hands up. And again, look at the emotion from this budding leader on this team right now. Not just a player, but great leadership skills that we have seen in both of the Marquette games we've done this year.
Yeah, he is really a genuine leader, and he goes to the line, and that even gets your leadership skills a little higher in the eyes of the coach.
Now they'll back off.
What a great performance by Marquette to come from behind. 19 down. What a performance. Mr. Wade was sensational.
And he is the Cisco Systems player of the game with 28 points, 19 of them coming in the second half as Marquette, down by as many as 19 in the first half, comes back and stuns the Cardinals here in Louisville.
And I think there's no doubt, not only do they get the win, and not only does it look like they will be most likely the champs of the conference, they have also lined up and really, I think, locked up player of the year for Mr. Wade.
Final score, Marquette 78, Louisville 73. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Bob Carpenter, Doug Gottlieb coming up from the Reynolds Center, Hawaii and Tulsa here on ESPN2.